Welcome back to the current. The current is a place for us to slow down and to connect to the sun transit, the energies being amplified by the sun through the lens of the gene keys. Sometimes I'll weave in human design or the I Ching. And if you're watching this sometime into the future and the title or the gene key is where you're contemplating, you're so welcome here. There really is no such thing as time. And that's the beautiful thing about the internet, isn't it? We're going to start in the body. This one is connected to the thyroid, as we have been doing all week. We're in line 4, day 4 of this key, which has to do with the energy of community, of the collective, of our relationships. And the relationship between the programming partner and of this gene key is the connection to the colon. So I had this vision to start with a little fascial maneuver here for the colon. And we're going to start in the body before I start talking. I'm feeling a little tired this morning. So we're going to find our belly button. And you don't have to stick your finger right in the belly button, but we're going to, around the belly button with our right hand, you're going to push in and then turn so that your thumb will be turning up. So in that direction. So that's going from right to left. So press it in, twist, bend your knees a little bit, and just breathe in and out. And then you can sort of stick your butt back a little bit and move slowly side to side. Leaning back. Okay, and release. And we're going to do that again. And this time we're going to use our left hand behind our back and twist the other way. So press in, twist on the back, twist the opposite direction. It might be hard if you have trouble twisting the back. The skin is easier. And then you can also twist like with your knuckles. That's sometimes what I do. And just kind of squeeze the skin there. And let's do 6 more breaths. In through the mouth and out through the mouth. I already have pressure moving. I'm burping. Leaning back. Let's say, I forgive anyone who I feel has done me wrong. I'm willing to consider to forgive, maybe more accurate than just saying I forgive and not feeling it, but I'm willing to consider forgiving. And I'm willing to forgive myself. I'm willing to consider to forgive myself. And release. And just sway it out. Forgiveness being one of the siddhis, the highest expression. So it's not about just saying the words and then all of a sudden it's done, but it's about using the words for our body, our fascia to listen to and to stir up some stuff that might be in the way of that forgiveness that we can then be responsible for and be aware of. And again, the journey, obviously, through these gene keys, moving from the shadow where we feel like we're a victim to our circumstances in life and bringing in the higher frequency of the gift and allowing that creative energy and the awareness of our interconnectedness is part of the journey, right? So from here, I want to go to the right hip. We're going to come up along the colon, over to the side, and down in this direction. And this particular shadow of this key we're in, distraction, that we've been exploring so far this week, the shadow of distraction, can be how we distract ourselves away from the discomfort that we feel. So it's about staying with that discomfort, listening to it. Okay, let's release, just sway it out. That's my journey. This gene key I mentioned in maybe the first day of this 56 is my vocation sphere. It's my core wound. And I actually have this one in my as a line 6. So I'm really here for a while to learn this one, but the first part of my life, I was distracting myself based off of what the society, culture, family kind of had as the picture of the life path for me, and was so distracted by that path that I was not in touch with the direction I wanted to go. Or sometimes I was, and yet letting myself, feel the guilt and the shame for not being able to stick to the way that I should stick. And so that's part of the forgiveness there, is just forgiving myself for not knowing, and this beautiful journey that I'm personally on by showing up live every day at 7 a.m. is a discipline that doesn't feel like a forced discipline for me. And they speak about that at the level of the gift, and even the level of the city of intoxication is a discipline to only be distracted by love. And I mean, the cities, I am definitely not claiming to. I mean, as Richard Rudd speaks to the cities, they're a stage versus a state. We can sort of taste these higher frequencies as stages, but a state is something that's permanent and never changes. And I said yesterday that I was going to contemplate the city of intoxication with a programming partner, which is justice. So it has intoxication and justice play together. And the simple sentence that came through was that in a world that tastes truly alive may also be a world in which everything naturally returns to its rightful place. Justice. There's kind of no need for justice in the way we think of it. And the word taste comes from the intoxication. Richard speaks to the mouth being so much a part of, it's like the highest sensory space where we receive and we take in life and allow ourselves to be intoxicated by only love and the beauty of being human. And I recently saw Richard share, I think it was yesterday, I saw him share this video about on Ayurveda. Ayurveda is that non-dualist perspective, practice, and philosophy. And they say that, we're there's nothing to achieve. We already are enlightened. Non-dualism. Like we already are all one. And I really loved how he explained that what can happen is when you hear those words of like, oh, there's nothing I have to do. I get it. We're all love. That feels amazing. There can be a sense of liberation that comes from that intellectual understanding of it. Yet the true fruit hasn't arrived. Just the seed was planted, and it doesn't mean that the plant had time to grow and create the fruit. And that's the journey through the shadow into the city, as I see it, is, as Richard always says, that the city is there planted in the shadow, so that intoxication is there in the distraction. And he always talks in this at the citic level that in the city of intoxication you're distracted only by love. And that journey of going through that place, like I'm trying to find the words because I'm in the middle of the journey. I'm in a lot of ways I feel like I'm I mean, the gift level isn't a place you arrive. The gift level here, in this case, enrichment, it's a long journey. And I love what Richard says too, that sometimes the shadow level is easier because there's this sort of oblivious or like denial of there being anything more. And then when we're going through the gift frequency is a very transformational energy, so it can be messy and it's up and down, and we're starting to really look at things of like, oh my gosh, I've been distracted, what, and feeling all that stuff in our body and then not running away from it or trying to, I've spent years doing that. Years just running away from the pain in my body. And yeah, coming back to what Richard was saying in that Ayurveda is that we can hear, teachers or even read about it in the book about the acidic level, and we can maybe, if you've read it too, you can taste some of those cities at times. I've definitely tasted that intoxication, that feeling. And again, I just love how he said that there's a difference between knowing that fruit exists and then going on that journey of the tree bearing the fruit, and then the fruit just being your state for the rest of your life. So I'd love to hear from you. Do you have this key 56 anywhere in your profile? What brings you here today? I'm just feeling one of the words that I read in the intoxication. And I find myself, before I come on to these lives, just, first of all, waking my body up and then sitting with like, what's alive for me this morning, what's going on in my body, what have I been thinking about. And sometimes I flip through the book and I'm like, okay, what do I want to talk about today? And most of the time when I'm flipping through the book, I feel like I'm trying to prepare for an exam or something, and nothing's sticking. Like, oh no, what am I going to talk about? But one thing that stuck out, and I'm feeling it right now in my heart at the level of intoxication, is just feeling love flowing through the heart. And yesterday I spoke about like merging with something that comes, or 2 days ago, something that comes so naturally to us when we're in line 2. And for me, it's video. I've always loved to create video and share and tell stories, and and feel like it's an art. And for me, that's the discipline, that's the commitment, the devotion to the gift frequency of creativity and doing what's natural. And even though, I have the human doubts about what am I saying and is this relevant and am I going to be able to, say some good information? And at the cities, he speaks about there isn't really a need for words. And so then I'm feeling this energy of the heart, like he spoke about an arrow and Cupid's arrow in this one, because the word toxin is in the intoxication, and that the true toxin is love, and Cupid's arrow coming from this archetype. And so maybe we just finished with that together. This is the longest one I've done so far. If you're still with me, and just feel energy coming from the back of your heart, through your heart, and going out into your family, your friend circle, your community. And just notice with those words if there's a bit of a contraction or a closing, or if you're able to keep the heart open, and not judging yourself if it does contract. And then feeling possibly that love flowing to the whole world. Sending you so much love, and I'd love to hear anything that resonated with you today. And maybe today, looking at our distractions, that are these just, like Richard says, there's distractions are okay so long as they enrich us. So we can just ask that question, oh, I'm being distracted. Am I being enriched by this experience? I look forward to seeing you in the next video.